Lock it up. Come with something new.
Well, this kind of aged like milk because they actually did something new. Hi, friends, it's me, Hussein Nova, and we're finally back with another review, and this time it's Toy Story 5. So, this movie actually blew my expectations away because much like that meme reaction that I posted back when the trailer dropped, I really wasn't excited for this movie at all because, I think like the third one was already like a perfect ending, and then the fourth one was also like another like ending, and then like this one, like they announced Toy Story 5, and I was just like, what else could they do? But like they actually delivered an original story with a new main character with Jessie, and I think that they just really blew my expectations away because like I really had no hopes in this movie whatsoever, but surprise surprise, I loved this movie. I actually liked it a lot. It's a hot take, but like I never really liked Jessie as a character in Toy Story 2, 3, and 4. Like ever since she was introduced, I never really liked her as a character. Like in Toy Story 2, when she was introduced, I think her backstory was like a little bit interesting, but at the same time, it was like really surface level. And like, I don't know, her character arc in that movie wasn't really the biggest fan of it. In fact, I'm gonna say another hot take, and Toy Story 2 is actually my least favorite out of all of the movies. Like I just don't think it has a strong story, and I don't think it has strong characters either. And that includes Jessie. Like her arc in that movie, like she just couldn't decide whether she wanted to go with Woody or she wanted to stay with what's his name? Stinky Pete, I think. And like Woody stops Stinky Pete like by himself without Jesse's decision, and then he goes and rescue her on that plane scene. I think it's kind of been a while since I've seen the second movie, but I think that's what happened. And then with the third movie, like Jessie kind of falls into a background character. Like she does have moments of, being like fearing of being abandoned again because Andy's graduating, but that was pretty much it. And of course, like her and Buzz also had like continued the relationship from that second movie as well. And the fourth movie I think was really her lowest point. Like she was really just a background character in that movie. And like I don't think it made any sense that Woody passed like his badge to Jesse, but now that Jesse is the main character, I do like that now just because like it was kind of a foreshadow that they were gonna make Jesse a main character or the main character of Toy Story 5. So that's something that Toy Story 5 fixes in Toy Story 4 at least. So now we're in the fifth movie, and yeah, Jesse is so much better in this movie. So this movie, I think it did so much better than Toy Story 2, just handling Jesse's character arc. Because again, in that movie, she was just like her backstory was really surface level. But with this movie, like we really dive deep into her backstory and like her trauma. She has to face it again for like the third time because like of course she's been abandoned in Toy Story 2 and then Toy Story 3 she was fearing the same thing would happen with Andy going to college, but this time in Toy Story 5, it actually feels like real. Like she has to face the past all over again, like being replaced, and she has to like make peace with that. And I think this movie did a wonderful job at her character arc, that like her just accepting that the theme that she just because she got replaced didn't mean that she didn't make a difference and all the kids that she's been with and all the toys had to accept that as well with the technology replacing them, and I think that's a really beautiful message, a beautiful theme I could get behind. And that leads to another, like, I guess, subplot or sub theme of just tech versus toys, which I guess could be about racism because, like, Jessie was really racist against the technology, but like when she meets Smarty Pants and his friends, I think like she kind of learns that they have been replaced as well, and that like tech isn't immune to being replaced either. So I think that was another big sub theme as well. And just with Lily Pad as well, like the toys really fear being replaced, but like Lily Pad's entire character, she is a lot like the anxiety from Inside Out 2. She's basically the anxiety of this movie. Like now that I'm thinking about it a lot, Inside Out 2 and Toy Story 5 has like a lot of similarities about just accepting the like letting the kid decide for themselves. Like I think the two themes of these two movies are quite similar with Lily Pad and anxiety as well. So like I think it's just a lot about accepting your differences and not forcing kids to choose but just helping them along the way the best you can. And yeah, that's another beautiful theme for this movie as well. Lily Pad's character, like she wants to help Bonnie, but just like anxiety, she was kind of just being a little too selfish, and her methods weren't really the best either, just because she got Bonnie like the wrong friends. And I really appreciate that, like when she realized that she hurt Bonnie, she just wanted to throw herself away, donate herself to somebody else. And I think that was really deep, like really deep scene there. And like much like anxiety and Inside Out too, I think all of the emotions, toys, tech, like these two movies, they just had to learn to not be selfish and like actually help the kid because that's what they were meant for. And again, that's a really powerful message. And while we're at it, Bonnie actually had a huge glow up here too. And her arc is also like about acceptance, but this time it's more about self acceptance. Like, because she was trying to change herself just to get friends, but those friends actually ended up being cyber bullies who were like making fun of her for still playing with toys. And I think like she just has to learn that those people aren't your friends. Like if they're judging you, then they're not your friends. And yeah, that was another really good theme. And like for once, I actually care about the human, like, because I don't care much about Andy, except maybe in Toy Story 3, and I didn't care about Bonnie in Toy Story 4, but this movie actually made us care about Bonnie, and the parents, they actually did a good job with the parents, like actually looking at their daughter being cyberbullied because like they felt like something was wrong. So that was like a good thing because like usually with a lot of these movies they would make the adults like stupid or ignorant, looking at you inside out. But with Toy Story 5, I really think they did a good job with the parents. Like maybe they should have done better by paying more attention to the doom scrolling, but like I still appreciate that they at least did something to, prevent the cyberbullying. So that was another positive I have to say about this movie. And then there's Blaze, which like she kind of has a weird character just because like I remember that scene where she was just crying. Like I don't know, like was it because she got ghosted or something? Like I wasn't really paying much attention in the theater on that scene just because like there was someone kind of being chaotic with their children in the theater. So like my ADHD was kind of like kicking in, but I don't remember much about that scene. But yeah, she was crying because someone ghosted her, I think. And was it Jimmy Dean, the pig, actually comforted her? But yeah, she was actually like a good character just because she shows that not everybody is like obsessed with tech and like not everyone thinks like playing toys is like, not cool. So like I think her and Bonnie actually having this common interest shows us that like, the world, not everyone is the same. So I appreciate that, and just the two of them becoming friends, I think that was a realistic move as well. And the toys and lily pad both um helping them connect really show lily pad's usefulness. The only thing that was like a little bit weird was the Buzz Lightyears like on the island, and then they make a boat and sail off into the actual like world, and they ended up helping at the end. Like they they infiltrated Blaze's farm and then they attacked Woody or something. Like that was a little bit weird. And then they all came in thanks to like our Buzz, thanks to him, like him taking charge. I think that I think that was a little bit weird just because like this subplot is kind of irrelevant in my opinion. It doesn't really add much to this story as a whole. Like I think if you deleted this subplot, nothing would change besides like all the Buzz Lightyears helping at the end, like flying and taking everybody home. Which like at this point of Toy Story 5, like it's Toy Story 5 and it's like at this point expect a little bit of outrageousness from the climaxes because a lot of these climaxes were really outrageous. But that brings me to Buzz as well. Like in Toy Story 4, I really hated him just because he was stupid and like he was like that inner voice, like listen to your inner voice. And like there was that scene where he was just like using his inner voice and it was like, don't help Woody, like do not help Woody just to get the plot forward. And it was like you just had to roll your eyes at that. But Buzz in this movie, like at least he was a lot smarter and He wasn't like too much of a comic relief besides being in love with Jessie, which I do appreciate that they kind of brought that to a close, that like him and Jessie could finally have a relationship. And it was like set out all the way in Toy Story 2. And it was kind of forgotten in Toy Story 4, but I think in this movie, like they finally did it justice. Like they went with it, and I appreciate that, you know. Like they actually took like a joke and made it real. And then there's Woody, who kind of took a back seat on this movie, but it's like he's been the main character for 4 movies, so I think it's a good thing that he didn't play too much of a role in this movie. Just because his arc has been wrapped up at this point anyways, so like putting the main character role onto someone like Jesse, who we really didn't get to know much of, like with the first 4 movies. That was such a smart decision, and I respect that a lot. Now with Toy Story 6, like the potential of there to be a Toy Story 6, I really don't know. Like, I don't know what other character they could choose this time because Toy Story 5 pretty much wrapped up Jesse's character arc at this point. So I don't know like what other character they could do next. Maybe they could bring back Lotso from Toy Story 3 just because he didn't die at all. Yeah, but I don't know like what other character they could focus on in the next one. And I think it's a little scary that Tim Allen and Tom Hanks are saying that AI could replace them after they die. Like, that's just a little scary to think about. Like, no, we don't want that to happen, please. Do not replace them with AI. Like, you can replace them with someone else, like, honestly. Like, it might not be as iconic, but like it's better than using AI to replace humans like after they die. That's a little bit weird. Well, that's all I had to say about this movie. I think it's overall a 7 out of 10. Probably like the third best Toy Story in my opinion. Like, I think that the third one is still the best just because it's just so dark and so mature. And then the first one is the second best because of its simplicity and it really understands like character dynamics and character arcs really well. And then Toy Story 5 and then Toy Story 4, like, which I think has a lot of problems, but I think Gabby and Forky, I guess, really carried this movie. And then my least favorite again is Toy Story 2. Like, kind of a hot take, but I don't care. Like, make your own list, okay? Well, that's all. So, see you till next time. Bye.